No. 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 Where is it at? Where is it at? Here it is.
Wait.
Oh, shit. What it do? Welcome back. It's the Machine Room Podcast. We are here. We have returned. It is I, Nostradamus, and with me, good thing I always get it right. Yeah! Pyro Rachel, Hammer Venus. How you been, girl?
Good. How about you?
I've been good, man. A little worn out because it's back to normacy, I guess, in a way. Not really, but back to full hours, and that means more of my time taken. But I have to be blessed that I had a job throughout the whole like lockdown and still there, because there's a lot of companies I'm seeing have really been affected by this, and one of the big ones is United. Like, there's a lot of people being let go and furloughed until they don't even know. Like, some people that worked with us that went over there and now they're back with us because they don't even know if they have a future there.
Wow.
Sometime, yeah, sometime in October. So there's that. But it's it's it is what it is. Though even though we're still in, I don't know how many months it's been, shit is still rising, and the city even has talks about like going backwards again because it's not getting a little bit better. I was just downtown like before the show. I drove downtown because I had to take Rocio to a wedding she's doing
Mm-hmm.
photography for, and just looking around and just seeing like this city is really like the people are on it with masks, but downtown just seemed like they didn't give a fuck. Like you saw a few people with masks, but not really everyone.
Everyone.
Everyone should be with masks.
Mostly in your car or something like that. But otherwise, put on a fucking mask. Hang on a sec.
Oh shit!
That's
That's a
my ring.
transition right there. let's go. Let's go to a heavy metal weatherman. That'll be dope, wouldn't
Yes,
it?
we need that.
Um, but yeah, that's what I saw. Um, I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but we're doing good. We're all good. Oh, Dro, hello, Dro. Welcome to the Machine Room Podcast. Good to see you, dog. We missed you.
Yeah,
Rachel misses you.
sure do.
Tell him.
You just
Don't
did.
don't lie about it. But the concept of masks. Let's talk about how like somebody decided to finally wear a mask, and his people were praising him for it, even though they were at one point against mask, and that's Senor Orange Donald Trump.
They'll fucking jack off to anything that dude does. Wearing a mask, not wearing a mask, whatever. They're stuck on that orange.
Remember how it was when he had his last rally? Not even the last rally, because the last rally was that Mount Rushmore one that I didn't even know what's gonna happen. But the one before that, and he was just drinking water, and they were going crazy for him drinking water.
It's it's ridiculous.
I do not get it. Please, someone explain to me what is happening.
I really don't get it. It's like he was a scumbag back when we were kids and is probably worse off than he was before and people like still support this person, even though that he's proven without a doubt that he's a scumbag.
And that's the thing. Like it's we have been in a cancel culture as well, and everybody can easily be cancered. Every you can easily be canceled. Everyone can easily be canceled, but he is untouchable.
I don't think so. I think that his day will come, and hopefully it'll come soon. But, you can't do all the shit that he does and break all the laws that he does and lie through his teeth without consequence. It's going to come. And it's going to be funny.
You're gonna be there with popcorn, laughing your ass off watching this happen.
Laughing.
But it's like even in the end, we're still ruined because um I saw this video and someone shared it in my Facebook. It was a family member or friend of family member, maybe a family member. I don't know, but it was a video of Biden, and it was just all this creepy moments with him around little girls and women, and you're like, ooh, shit, you know? Because they say he's a little pervert too.
I don't I don't doubt it. He's from that same pervy generation. You know, I hate to put people together and segregate them into little groups, but the what are they, boomers?
Yep.
Yeah, all them boomers are crazy.
But we gotta be stuck with him. We got no other option. Unless you want to vote for Kanye.
Mm-mm.
You sure?
I think that Bernie Sanders should have stuck in there. He was
I
just like, all right, I give up. We're like,
I
no,
think he
you should
should have.
have.
I don't know why he gave up, but because to me, at least, I'm not saying I'm like fucking professional in this freaking category or got a great understanding of it, but to me, it just seems like a big game of chess. That's all it is. Politics. It's just
Pretty much.
chess. It's just a game, and I don't think our well-being is really in their minds. Bernie maybe believes so. Obama had me believing so.
Yep.
But I just think that it's really not about what's best for the people, but what's best for them.
Always. And, I think one of the reasons that people got behind Trump the way that they did, it was because he wasn't a politician and people thought that he was a straight shooter and, he was going to drain the swamp and all this bullshit. And, he hasn't. He ended
No.
up being the biggest liar. He'll lie to himself and think that he's right.
In the mirror. He wakes
And
up and lies to
yeah,
himself in the mirror. You're fantastic. You're wonderful. Let them talk bad about you. You're marvelous. I know. I know you. You're great.
all them hand gestures.
Yes. All that. And then the face. Wait, you can do the face. I can't do no face. I just pucker up. There. Ah, yes. It is perfect.
All I can do.
It's funny because there's times when I want to use that as a meme, but it's like I feel like you're not even worthy of being used as a meme, so I don't use any Trump memes or Trump gifs and stuff like that. It's just I don't go
I
anywhere right there.
I put him in the same boat as Freddy Krueger. Like, you don't even say his name, otherwise you give him power.
Ooh, shit. That's good. But hopefully he don't come after our kids. Wait, he's already doing
That's
that.
true. Oh yeah.
Mm. Let's keep
Oh
away
well.
from our kids. Speaking of kids, didn't that again in the form of the whole like child trafficking. They got somebody else, the lady who was tied to Epstein and also tied to all these other
She was like
cats.
his assistant or something, so she
Mm.
knew about all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And they have her in jail.
And they're hoping that she doesn't get killed. Though they did say
Yeah.
she was tested positive for corona. We're all like, well, it begins.
But maybe she'll snitch before, they get to her.
Hopefully, it's some snitch that'll do something. Cause it just feel like people have been snitching like crazy, especially about the president. And this whole thing of the child trafficking or whatever the fuck cult underground crap that's going on up there with all these very successful people. I saw a documentary that was brought to my attention through YouTube about it, and it just blew my mind. Now, whether this thing was legit or not, I don't know, because documentaries are kind of like based on an opinion and whatnot. But the facts
Right.
that they were showing was very persuasive
Mm-hmm.
and had me open my eyes. That is like, whoa, there's some really twisted shit going on, on the ground. And I believe that because let's face it, people are like, I already know there's a freaking crazy sex kink community that is not out there in the open. And I think we talked about this too, right? Like you had an experience or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. See,
People are
so
freaky. And
that exists. So if that
it would be
exists,
like the person that you would not expect.
uh-huh. So if that exists, then that shit exists as well. It's just
People are weird.
it's we're all weird. Just plain Joe says my grandma calls him corn hairs in Spanish. How do you say corn hairs in Spanish? Damn, I don't even know.
Yeah, well,
El
corn hairs.
el corn hairs. My mom just calls him hijo de gran puta, maricón, and all that other shit. Like every bad word in Spanish, motherfuck. Then she throws in a motherfuck in there, and it's always funny hearing a Spanish person saying motherfuck with the accent. it's, it's, it's the best.
I love it. Everybody should say motherfuck for no reason.
Motherfuck.
You're at Taco Bell. Can I take your order? Yeah. Can I get a number one motherfuck supreme?
Can we discuss how, like, is it just me who finds it a little bit awkward doing those drive-throughs, like that moment right there, having to conversate and order?
I mean, it still feels the same to me. I mean, they just handle your food differently.
I'm not saying like just like now in the sense. I'm just saying like always. Like it's always like there's always an awkward conversation between you and the voice box person or whatever. Like either you interrupt them or they interrupt you, or
Yeah.
they can't hear you, you can't hear them, and you know.
Oh, we had this is nothing against people with speech impediments, but we had a girl with a speech impediment working the drive-thru at Taco Bell. I was like, I can't, this isn't working. I can't understand what you're saying.
Damn.
They honestly could have put you anywhere else and you'd be more use. But this is very frustrating.
They're trying to boost up her morale. I don't know. You know,
Or self-esteem.
her self esteem. Equal opportunist. They're trying to equal opportunity. Can't shut them down. It's hard. Like especially if it's someone like that and you don't want to talk shit about them because then you feel like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I talk about a moment like on the first day I met this girl. We went to the theater and I'm trying to be like, yeah, this is gonna be it. I'm gonna show I'm the shit. And we were just trying to get nachos the whole night. We didn't get the nachos, and then at the end, I'm like, all right, can I talk to the manager because we never got it, and the person who said they were gonna give it to us, that person left, and everything like that. I was like, okay, I'll go get the manager, and I'm all there. And I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be it. You know, I'm gonna show her. I'm gonna talk to this manager. I'm gonna get us like some nachos and some free drinks. And then the manager comes in, and this guy is, special, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Like he wasn't like disabled or anything like that. He could walk, but it was just like he had a specific way of walking, whatever. So he was like, I don't know what to say, man. I don't want to say anything that seems offensive, So, anyways, came up to me is like, yeah, manager, and I'm like, shit. It was like all that just like crumbled down. Then I was talking all nice. Yeah, man, we didn't get our nachos. We just were, wondering if we could get it, and maybe, for the trouble, you could get us some drinks. But I was gonna go hard on somebody, and then he just like shut me down, man. Can't. You can't go hard. It's like the equivalent. They brought a little kid instead, a little cute 5-year-old. It's like, you must. Oh shit. Hi, little princess. Can we get a nacho and drinks?
They did that on the IT crowd. It was they had a dwarf working at the coffee shop, and you couldn't reach everything, and he made like the worst coffee. And it was like, what do you say to that?
I don't
This
remember.
manager says it's weird when you can see your order on the screen, and yet in the end they still manage to fuck it up. I agree.
It's true. And then that's when you either become like three types. You're either the one that gets really pissed off and carrying it up. You're the one who's like, it's cool. It is what it is. Or you're the what's the other one? You're the one that want to fix it, but you're still nice about it. You know what I'm saying?
Passive aggressive.
Yeah, so either those three. Me, I'm just more like the whatever. Like it's not a big deal. I've seen people who got mad like if they forgot ketchup, like
Oh,
real.
fuck that.
Like drove off, and then they're like, "This motherfucker forgot this." Oh hell no, blah blah. I'm like, "Yo, chill. You got your food right. Like that's what matters." Or I was, someone else who thought that the person was like giving them attitude. And I'm just like, they weren't doing anything. They were just talking to you.
If I get as many items as I ordered, that's good enough for me.
Exactly.
Like, that's what I ordered, but I'm gonna eat the shit out of it because everything here is good.
Yes. you know, Maybe sometimes they even fuck it up. Like, I remember one person, and this is a coworker, and this girl's always like, there's always something with her. But she was, I don't know if she was complaining that they gave her extra chicken nuggets, or she was complaining that there was a story of a dude giving people extra nuggets. And she's like, I don't give a fuck. And it's like, what? Like, this motherfucker's a hero, in my eyes, he's a hero if he gave me like 2 or 3 extra nuggets for free, just slide it in there.
They're holy.
Yeah, it's the small things.
It is. It really is.
Hero comes in all shapes and sizes and doing the most minimum shit. I don't gotta be out there and saving cats off of trees or whatnot, or stopping crime. But little things like that, paying it forward, because we need that this day and age. We need shit to pay for it. And
Yeah.
I try to be a nice person, but some people just deserve to be treated like shit. You know what I'm saying? Drill said, ordered Uber Eats today and asked for a Coke and got what looked like Mountain Dew. I was cool with it because Mountain Dew was my favorite, but sadly it was lemonade.
Oh. I would have been cool with the lemonade. I like lemonade. But
his thing was like triple plot twist. It's like, I got a Coke. No, it's Mountain Dew. All right, I'm cool with Mountain Dew. Bam! Plot twist. Lemonade.
It's like a M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Yep.
You Shyamalan yourself.
That perfectly describes his 2020. That's 2020 for all of us.
For every
got lemonade. I like lemonade though.
I do too. I get it a lot.
Oh yeah.
Especially at Sonic.
At where, Sonic?
Yes.
Man, haven't had Sonic in a long time. Years.
You- You're fucking up.
I am fucking out. There's none in the Chicago, but there's outside of the Chicago area. So like if I go by the airport, I can find one over there. If I go to the south side of Chicago, I can find one there, but none in the fucking like city itself. You know what I'm saying?
But you work by the airport, so you would think that that would be a hot spot for you.
It would, but then I have to actually leave the airport and then drive a distance still to get there, you know? So, like, let's say, like, one day I could be like, hey, you know what, man? I got, like, how many more hours until the next one? Well, fuck it. Hey, guys, let me go. I'm gonna go to Sonic's. I'm gonna be right back. Shit like that. I can do
Yes.
that if I
Be
want.
that guy. That's a hero.
Be that guy. Bring no one Sonics but myself.
Exact. And eat it all slow.
Yes.
People are like, are you still eating? Well, mm-hmm.
You know what? I was like that to one person. Then he got mad at me one day. He snapped at me. He's like, dude, what's your problem? And I'm like, yo, chill, all right? Then I stopped talking to him.
Why? What happened?
He got really mad that I kept like making a big deal about him eating very slow. It did bother me. I'm gonna be honest. It bothered me. I'll be honest. It bothered me. He took forever to eat his fucking meal, but it was also like in a joking kind of matter. But when he flipped on me, like really fucking like pissed off and cursing at me and shit like that, I was like, okay, dude, you need to fucking calm the fuck down. You know what? I won't bother you at all. And then I left him alone.
Nope.
That's it.
Poor baby.
Yeah, I'm sorry. He was like basically a kid or whatever. But I guess he just had enough, or maybe that was that one day that everybody was on him, and then he just snapped at me. He had enough. The strawberry lemonade at Wendy's is, oh my god, my favorite drink.
I have to get some. There's not a Wendy's here.
What?
You have to drive like an hour away to get Wendy's.
Jeez, you know it used to be like that here. Now there's just Wendy's everywhere, for the most
That's
part. Yeah.
that.
Now there's Wendy's everywhere. We're gonna get. The city is finally gonna get a Portillo's, and usually you have to go like outside the city. No bullshit. There's one in downtown, but not like by me. But now there's gonna have a Portillo's there. And if you've never been to Portillo's or heard of it, it's fascinating. It's like the theme is all like 1950s, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all. You go in there and there's just all this 1950s kind of stuff. Music from the 1950s. I believe it's 50s, not 20s. Yeah, 50s. And then, you know, burgers, hot dogs. They got the best freaking like brownie, I believe, or chocolate cake or something. It's just divine. When you get out of there, next thing you know, you want to listen to the fucking what were they called? It was that movie, The Four Seasons and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? They just have you wanting to sing Sherry. It's real cool, little fucking nice little place with good food and whatnot. I like it.
There is a place like that in LA. Like, trying to think. It was in the shopping center. I can't remember the name of it, but they used to do like the old fashioned shakes and burgers and all that kind of stuff, and they only played 50s music. But it was really expensive. It wasn't like Sonic. It was like going out to eat at like a fancy burger place. But it was really good.
Were people on rollerblades?
No, it's not that kind of place. It's like, but they still have like the bar area where you can sit at the bar and get your food, and kind of like Denny's.
Can I go in there, go to the freaking bar and be like, milkshake, chocolate.
Chocolate.
They just slide that shit to me.
Try. You can sure as hell try.
That's what I want. That's how I want to be at that level.
You can sure as hell try. I would like to see that actually. That would be funny.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
You got it that quick.
Like
the chocolate
that.
milk.
And exactly how it went down.
How
Now I
about
want a
that?
milkshake. Good job. Sucks. There's a hot spot by me. It's like literally Like I could walk to it, and it was called Tasty Freeze, but you know with yeah with like how the neighborhood has changed and everything's hip, it's just called the Freeze now. So meta. Whatever. It's fucking fantastic though. I love their burgers, their hot dogs, and their ice creams are top notch. I haven't gone there yet because of how it is. It's open, and there's no really dine-ins. It's all dine out. But maybe one day I'll go there and get me a big ass, nice, juicy sundae or something, and just get fat under the sun.
Yes.
That's how it is. Everybody should just get toasted, fat under the sun. Let it
That's what we do.
let it burn us up, and then let the cannibals eat us.
I don't think they want me.
Why not?
This meat comes with a price, and I'm very gassy.
They want to. They're gonna be like, no, no, no. That's expensive meat right there. We can't afford that.
Mm-mm. All farts.
Our farts.
Yes.
You're like the White Castle.
Exactly. It's all farts.
I haven't had White Castle forever. Now we're just talking about food. I'm sorry, Dro, which is, I think you're the only one here. I see. Yeah. Dro, thank you for being here, Dro. Because, we've been wanting to do this for a long time. It is my fault. I'm always fucking working on the Wednesday nights. It was always like hit or miss. Like either I always trying to go like, okay, man, am I going to do the mornings? I'll get out early. And they're like, nope, you're doing night. I'm like, shit, am I going to do the morning? And they're like, yeah, you're going to do the morning. I'm like, all right, cool. It's either one or another. And I don't find out until like damn near that night or that morning.
That's stupid.
Yeah. It is what it is. And how's the Walmart treating you?
It's going. I mean, it's not like where I want to be professionally, but it's a job and they treat me good. So I think I'll go show up one more time.
You still balling?
Always.
Balling hard, of course, because you popped up with that Taco Bell. She got Taco Bell before the show, so the beginning, I just saw her eating, just stuff in her face.
I was like a rabid dog, just shoveling. I was hungry as hell.
So please, Taco Bell, endorse us so we could get a lifetime supply.
Yes, and bring back the Santa Fe beef gordita. That was my favorite.
Ooh, that sounds like it'll be one hell of a party afterwards.
Always.
They still got that box, right? That just comes with like a burrito, a taco, and whatever, and all for like $5 or something or some shit.
Yeah, the $5 boxes.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I love. That's what I love. That's what I stay fat for.
Me too.
Yes. And I realized that this beard helps like hide the fatness, so I need to keep it and not take it away. I trimmed it down so much that I was like, damn, I could see it all. No more beard. It makes me look a little bit thinner.
That's good.
I'm self-conscious.
About what? You're a thrower.
Myself.
That's like a good workout.
I got a belly and fat face looking like a chipmunk. And Dro's like, before I decided on getting Portillo's for Uber Eats, I want to Taco Bell. Maybe then I could have gotten my Mountain Dew. Perhaps. You can trust in Taco Bell to get it right.
They'll give you some kind of drink and some kind of food.
And you'll still be happy and eat it.
Yes, because it doesn't matter, because it's all some kind of tortilla with meat and cheese thing.
Uh-huh.
That's what I said. Like, even if you get the wrong order at Taco Bell, it's still going to be good. You're like, oh, I'll eat it.
I want that to be how they describe everything. Like we need to make a restaurant and it's just like that, you know. We get not the laziest because they gotta work, but we get the most like whatever kind of people, I guess,
Yes.
and be like, okay, I wanna know what's in the Burger Supreme Deluxe, and they're like, a bun, some meat, uh, lettuce, something, some other kind of spices. It's good.
You
Okay.
should you should get a place like that and only hire gay men and black women. So they'd be
Ooh,
like, bitch, you can just look at the menu. Okay.
that'll work. And we have a place like that here in Chicago for hot dogs, and it's
Okay.
mostly black women, and they'll curse the fuck out of you.
Yep.
They'll be like, "Motherfucker, what do you want?" Uh, number three.
I want your phone number and I want you to be the voicemail when people call me. Who the fuck is this?
Speaking of voicemail, I'm getting a fucking message, and they keep leaving me messages, and I need to check like if my voicemail says my name, because get a clue, people. This is not who you're calling. One is someone that they've been calling me for years, and they're like, "We're looking for Gianni Violence or something like that," and I'm like, "That's not me. Clearly, that's not fucking me." The one recently though is someone calling me, leaving me messages, talking about some timeshare thing, and about our last discussion, and I'm listening to the voicemail. I'm like, I had no such discussion about no such timeshare. The fuck is going on here?
Lies.
But I do remember that people people were getting message from, I think, a Chinese woman. It happened to LP first, right? He let me hear it. It was just Chinese. It was all Chinese, and it was the area code of Chicago, but it was all Chinese. We are like, okay, that's funny. And I think it happened to my mom too.
Oh shit.
So some ladies either randomly calling people or something. I don't know, but she's going around. She's leaving messages all in Chinese in Chicago.
In Chicago. Your bitch needs to get a life. People that do that shit, they should have like jail time. Like people that do spam calling or those damn robot calls.
Yeah, I hate the robot call.
Oh, that's the worst.
Dro's like, he forgot to tell me I signed you up for timeshare Naz in Florida. Well, you should let me know. You
From a
should let me
Chinese
know.
embassy. That's scary.
I got those two from a Chinese embassy. So creepy. What the fuck? Who they looking for? Who are they looking for?
Still looking for Wang Chung.
Everybody have fun tonight. Everybody, are we gonna get canceled now? Because we just did that.
We're gonna cancel ourselves.
And it could happen. Got to do it before they do it.
Not scared of them motherfuckers. He
What
left you a voicemail.
a Chinese woman. It reminded me of when I went to a Chinese restaurant and they're just taking my order. They're like, "Hi, how can I help you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'd like to get a combination fried rice." I'm like, "Oh, okay, 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 that'll be all. Okay, thank you." Then turns around, they just start screaming at each other, and I'm just like, I'm gonna go take a seat real quick. It's the funniest thing.
The Vietnamese nail ladies are the worst because I know that they're talking shit.
Mm.
And you know that they know that you know. And it's like this understanding, and they just look at you dead in the eyes and talk shit about you. Ping dong, ting tong, ting tong dong.
They got a picture of you and shit, and pointing at the
Yeah,
picture and at you and looking dead at you.
they all come around. They're all looking. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
talk.
Mm-hmm. Fuck it.
Oh, did you see what um was talking to Dro on Twitter about being the artist for the Cowboy Chicken comic book.
Oh, have you now?
Yes,
Draw can draw.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Very
He's
good.
he's all over the place. I highly vouch for Alejandro, the man who will be writing my freaking late night monologues.
Yes,
He'll do your artwork and write my late night monologues. We're giving this guy business.
that's all we need.
Yes. So hop to it, Dro. What you doing? Come on. This cow and chicken? No, wait. What is it called again?
Cowboy Chicken.
Cowboy chicken needs to jump off. For some reason, man, I had porn and chicken in my head.
The fuck?
That was a thing. That was a thing here at some fucking club on Monday nights. They had porn and chicken night.
I would go to that.
Yeah, everybody went because there was just always a fucking line into this thing. Porn and chicken night. And I asked the coworker, and he actually said, like, yeah, man, I went in there one time. It's not all that. I mean, there was like, it's chicken and there's porn playing everywhere. But then he's like, the night I went, there was no chicken, so it was just porn playing everywhere. How
They
you gonna
ran
run
out of chicken.
How you gonna run out of chicken on cow and chicken night? On porn and chicken
Yeah.
night.
Cow and Chicken. That was a great show.
Imagine they do a cow and chicken night.
Yes.
Oh shit.
It was such a weird show.
Cowboy chicken. I just want to be a voice in something, I got this guy at work and he's doing game design, and he asked me for a lot of stuff when it comes to streaming and whatnot. I'm just like, just do it, dog. Just do whatever you gotta do and blah, blah, blah. But I told him, like, hey, if you need any voices for your video game, I'm down. I'll do all the voices.
Yes.
I'll even do...
Especially the girls.
Yes, that's what I said. I'll even do the female voices. Something that I wanted to retire from, but if I'm getting paid, boy, I'll do... Help me! That's my female voice.
I can tell.
My favorite one was doing Rogue. I don't know why. That was my favorite.
Who?
Rogue. When I did the Rogue...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when I did that, that was like my favorite.
It wasn't Storm.
No, it wasn't Storm. And let's not talk about that because I'll get canceled now. I'm waiting. I'm being honest. I am waiting for the day that someone goes back and they're like, yo, they need to cancel my way for doing like Storm like this or fucking joking about raping in the Juggernaut. I'm just waiting for it.
Oh my god.
They're gonna
It's one of those things, like, you can't go back. It has to be something now. If you do something now, then people can get offended. But
yeah. This is the whole cancel culture about talking about shit that happened a long time ago. That was in the past, man. Especially, like, I understand if it was something like, oh, this person killed like 5 people and and got away with it or something. Like, I understand that, but like, I mean, there was this one wrestler who is suspended right now because, I mean, he was a young kid too. Like, if you're in your early 20s, you're still a fucking kid. Let's face it.
oh yeah, you're not an adult until you're at least 30.
Yeah, you're still a fucking kid. In your 20s, you're growing up. So you're going to say a lot of stupid shit. So this kid said that, oh, yeah, I saw her and I wanted to rape her on the spot. And it's like, okay, well, that's something like some little fucker would say. But he's not going to do it. And he apologized to the person that he said it about. But it was something that was like years and years ago, And then you remember what happened to... What's his name that did the Guardians of the Galaxy? He was canceled for shit. Like, what's his name? I forgot.
Something Gunn.
Yeah, James Gunn. There you go. He was canceled for something like 10 years ago. And then there's an actor on The Flash who plays elongated man. He got canceled, and now he was taken out of the show. So he probably won't even pop up the next season because of shit he said on Twitter years ago too, that was like really on the edgy kind of, like, people like to say edgy, crazy, fucked up shit on there just to get like some kind of reaction to spark. But this was even before he was even known. So I don't know. It's just,
people need to chill with all that shit and like try to find a sense of humor. I mean, there's no, sense of humor in rape jokes and stuff like that, but it's like, take things into context. That somebody that was in their 20s, that's like, they're probably not thinking, properly anyway.
And I always try to defend myself. Even then, like you can like if there was every like conversation that was brought up around that time or articles, anything like that, where I highly truly and it was our slogan that, we don't condone that shit, that
Yeah,
the jokes and Juggernaut bitch was not us like making fun of rape or anything like that, but it was the context of what we were seeing on there, and to have been interviewed by these college students, these two women in college who interviewed us, and then I asked them too. I was like, "Hey, why do you like it?" Because we feel like women, they would be like, they wouldn't like it because of the tone of the comedy and whatnot. And they
right.
said exactly what we did is like, no, we get it because in the context of what you're seeing is a bunch of big, strong men, all in tights and stuff like that, surrounding one woman tied down in a dominatrix kind of uniform, tied down and stuff like that. It was in the context of what we were seeing, and we were making fun of it, but we are not freaking like, what's the word I'm looking for? We're not like, help me out here. Promoting it, I guess. There.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
We were not doing that, It's like it was just in the context of it. All our stuff is fucking crazy. I mean, there was a moment when these guys were fucking joking about bestiality. Doesn't mean we're out there fucking horses and dogs and shit, it's just stupid funny to say. And I didn't do that storm thing as a fucking racist shit. It was just funny. Cause you know why it's funny? Cause if it makes Randy laugh, then it's fucking funny to me too. So there you go. He's the one who was like, do it. And I'm like, I'ma do it. And we did it. So cancel me, motherfuckers.
Nobody's like out to like try to lynch you, so I think people get it, but that shit is funny.
I hope no one's out trying to lynch me, but you could be surprised. What if someday one motherfucker's like, that Nostradamus motherfucker? I hate that nigga. I'ma get him.
Get 'em.
Like 6:15. I'm hungry.
But eat all them
I'm
action figures.
as burgers. Oh, porn and Joe said that porn and chicken is the cowboy chicken spinoff. I like it.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. Or the cowboy chicken porn parody.
There you go.
Ooh shit! There you go. Put whatever you just did over the mic. What was that?
That was my scunchie.
That's good.
It's very loud.
Yes, it
My
is.
mic is very sensitive.
Your mic is good. Mic's good. We're all good here.
Good, good, good.
But yeah, don't cancel us at all. It's just don't go at someone for what they did a long time ago, And I'll even say that for people I've known, like my last relationship was like a bunch of crazy roller coaster ride, but I'm not gonna like freaking hold anything against the person for what they did or that person hold anything for what I did. It was just in the past and we moved on and we become better people out of stuff like that, and that vice versa for anybody else. And sometimes people do grow and mature, I've known people at work who were like punk ass bitches and then they grow up to be a little bit more, but they're still a little punk ass bitch. But you know what I'm saying, like some people grow and learn and people say things, and we're in a world where everything is just out there and it's hard to be a little bit more private, I guess, but maybe we should be a little bit more private.
Well, the problem is that whole mentality of let's get them fired, let's get them, canceled. Like, you're giving a negative reaction to something that's already negative.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not going to learn the lesson that you think that they're going to learn. Like, they're going to be like, oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I'll never say something like that again. Like, for example, that guy that got, like, lost his job and his apartment and all this shit because he said that there was a couple speaking in Spanish and he was like, you need to speak English, which was really a dickhead thing to do.
That was the one
But
in the restaurant.
yeah, I think
Wasn't
so.
he? Wasn't he like a CEO or something big?
Yeah, he was something pretty big.
Uh huh.
But like the whole thing of like, let's get them fired, let's get them homeless, like they're not going to learn the appropriate lesson to not be a racist dickhead.
Mm-hmm.
That you need to like sit down with somebody like that and have a conversation with them and be like, here's what you did, here's how it's, attributed to the other person and what that does to them, instead of trying to get, oh, we got to get them canceled and fired and homeless, and they're not going to learn the right, lesson from that. You're making things worse.
What if they're too hard to reach? What if people like that are like they can't learn anything? They just stay and that mentality.
They still
Mentality.
don't deserve to be homeless. I mean, they went for that. They totally destroyed that guy's life. Sometimes people are just going to be an asshole. There's nothing you can do about it.
Mm-hmm. Well, he shouldn't have said shit to Latinos. But I'm all for like cops being fired for doing some fucked up shit.
Yeah, because they should be like, they should lead by example. And if they're not, then they shouldn't have that position.
I just saw a video before this, before we went live, of someone. He's just outside his place, and someone else there it's like a complex, so there's a lot of people, but someone else is filming them, and it's just African American, shirtless, shorts, and he's with I guess his girl and their kids, and you hear a cop in the distance saying something like, "Rah, rah, rah, rah," and then he's like, "Yo, no, no," he's like, "Here." He's trying to give the woman something, telling her to go to the side with the kids because he already knows what's gonna happen. And that's
Right.
the fucked up thing. Like these people know that it's like, look, shit's gonna get real ugly. Just move to the side and let it happen and whatever. He puts his arm up. He's telling her like, look, I just came from court. My papers are over there, and then they shoot him with like, I thought they shot him, but they shot him with like a beanbag or something. Which
Yeah.
still fucking hurt. And he's like shirtless. So, bam, to the stomach. He goes down. They're all like, what are you doing? What the fuck is wrong with you? The mother and the kids walk to the side, get out of there. He's telling them for their safety, get out, move. He's laying on the floor now, arms stretched out. They're still screaming at him to fucking put his arms up. And he's like, he's sitting up now, and his arm's still up. And they're telling him, don't run. He's like, how the fuck am I gonna run? You hit me to the ground. I'm not running. And then they shoot him again still.
Oh my God.
Dude, all this was caught on camera. He didn't do a damn thing. He was still there. All right? There was no reason to keep fucking hitting him with anything. He was not resisting. He was not running. And there was a woman with child, not just child, like 3 kids there that could have been caught and like with a little beatback to one of those kids could have fucked
Oh,
them up.
could have died. Yeah.
Yeah, this is it's stuff like this that's still happening, and in this world now, it's not going by without being seen. But it's like stuff is not like we want it to happen fast enough, and I know it's gonna take some time, but it needs to happen fast enough because the slower it takes, the more people are gonna be affected.
Yeah. And hurt or killed or worse, and have their families torn apart. I saw one, I think yesterday, where the guy was in his car. He wasn't doing anything. He had his hands up. The cop reached in his car, rolled his window down, unlocked his door, and he was like, the whole time, he's like, I'm not doing anything. I'm being threatened. And the guy was like, you have the count of 3 to blah, 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 blah. And he's like, look, I'm being threatened. I haven't done anything. They haven't said what I've done. And they pulled him out of the car and took him to the ground and all that. You can't be resisting arrest when there's nothing you were being arrested for. And that's what so many of these cops do. They want to get you for resisting arrest, but you can't when there wasn't an original, intention to arrest.
Mm-hmm.
And if there was, then you need to have a really good fucking reason. This person was doing this, they were high, they were drinking, they were drunk driving, whatever. I mean, they're just pulling people over because their skin is dark and taking them to jail.
Yeah, I heard in that situation. I know exactly what video you're talking about too, and I heard in that situation it was just an expired tag. That's why he got pulled over. And the fact that he knew he was being filmed and he was not giving a fuck, and he actually like, yeah, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, and I hope you guys enjoy. Like, come on, man. Like, and the thing that pisses us off too is just the fact that we still not seeing the other cops do anything.
No, they're not being held accountable. So they think that they can get away with that shit, and that's the worst thing. They're out there, probably something like that happening as we speak,
Mm-hmm.
and the cop is at the worst case scenario, he's going to get like a paid vacation.
Right. Come back, or even not even come back to the same place, but get sent somewhere else and just keep
Yeah.
doing his thing. It's like, is no, like this is, and it's funny because we live with this though. We were raised with this. We've seen it on TV how they represented it. We've seen it on shows. We've seen it in books and everything, cartoons, and it's like now we're like we open our eyes. Like before it was like a joke, haha, but now it's like no, enough is enough. And I will go and watch, like I said, like I'll be watching something else that was like decades old or whatever, years old, and you see the way the cops are portrayed, and it just got me thinking. It's like, you know what, this whole time, like this has always been the thing, you know, like cops
Yeah.
have lost kind of that kind of respect or whatever. You know, we get some where we get those super cops, you know, our John McClanes and whatnot, you know. But for the most part, a representation of cops is always that dirty, abusive, and think they're above the law. That's why we need some Steven Seagals in police, because that motherfucker would have fucked everybody up.
They need to be held accountable to a higher standard. So if they do something like shooting an unarmed African American, they should go to prison.
Mm-hmm.
They shouldn't get passed around like, a fucking, like what the Catholic Church does with priests. They should be held accountable just as what any of us would be held accountable to. We go to prison or jail or whatever. You're get out, you're not going to be a cop again, not ever. And, whatever, sentencing or whatever, you have to do to pay it back. I mean, these people are taking people away. They're flat out murdering people, and they're getting their hands slapped, if that.
What I hate the response of people going like, "This wouldn't happen if they were doing what they're told." It's like, no, you don't get it.
They
You don't.
were.
You don't fucking get it.
It didn't matter. Like, they had it in their heart to begin with. Years before, this was something that they were going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what there needs to be like better screening when it comes to police officers and even like security guards. Like, you hear about security guards doing racist shit like that too, and there's no accountability there either.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's some bullshit for sure. There's a WWE wrestler who's from Chicago, and he was a cop before. Not before. Like, he was a cop during he was wrestling here in Chicago.
oh
But
wow.
he was a cop not in the Chicago district, but one of the suburban districts.
Hmm.
And he said that he went there. He was a cop because he wanted to make change from the inside, you know. He wanted to be, and that's something that he's still that's like his persona now and the wrestling thing. Like his thing is like he wants to be the light in the darkness and stuff like that. You know, he wants to make a change. Blah blah blah. His name is his wrestling name is Mustafa Ali. His real name is Adil Adam, something like that. So he's a Middle Eastern person. He became a cop, and he told his stories of how it was being a cop. You know, he said that yes, African Americans are targeted. You know, he tried to do. They'll like go. They'll want to go extreme to get someone for just like a ticket or whatever, and his solution was like, why fucking put a warrant to go out for this kid for something like that? Just contact their family, contact their mother, because one thing a kid is gonna do is they're gonna listen to their mother. You know, just tell the mother, be like, hey, yo, your son, he needs to come in because he has whatever ticket. Blah blah. Tell them, and then boom. Next thing you know, they will actually come in because they did it that kind of way. You know, when he pulled people over, he showed them respect and blah blah blah, and he just talked to them and stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff that cops should be. He said that the market is aimed to the minorities, and they make money off putting like taking them, not just putting them in jail, but also like just having them go to court all the time. You know,
Yeah.
like you'll have uh white males or whatever, and they do the little court thing, but it's real quick and blah blah blah, nothing. But they'll go after like the minorities, Latinos and African Americans, and really have them go to court like crazy and go through a lot of bullshit. And then the jail system, which is also just like someone pointing out, is just slavery after slavery. You know,
Yeah.
you put them in
It
jail, you
is.
have them there, and you have them do everything, and they're just, and the market is predominantly minorities, African Americans especially. It's just, he says the system is messed up from the inside, and they just see it as any other thing, a business. It's money. Everything is money. That's how they see it. Not to go out there and serve and protect, but make money.
There is that line in that movie American Gangster where he's talking about the corruption that's in the whole system, like cops and judges and lawyers and everything. And he says they don't want this to stop. It's too profitable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're making money, especially on big busts and stuff like that. But it's mainly with the little petty stuff. They will nickel and dime somebody literally to death.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how they make their money.
Yep.
And then you have, you know, we have slavery being abolished, but there's a clause in it that says unless they're um, incarcerated, then somebody can work for free.
Yep.
And people, we have the most overflowing jails and prisons in the world. And for that reason right there, for free labor.
Yep. And then prison is supposed to be a rehabilitation,
Yeah.
right? It's supposed to be rehabilitation. You're supposed to turn these people around, and then they serve their time, they come out, and they're supposed to have a life. You know,
Yeah.
for the most part, they go in there and they're treated like crap. You know, for my brother was a sheriff here, and he worked in the prison, and he treated people with respect, so they respected him. All right,
Mm-hmm.
but he's seen some things where people were just being like fucking dicks to these inmates, and then when they come out, once they're known to be like, um, what's the term, like after you serve time, former inmate or something like that, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, once they know that you served, then it's like, you know, there's a radar on you, and there's no trust, or you can't, it's harder for people to have a life after that, and it shouldn't be that way. You know, I understand there's some people who should go to jail and like not get treated so well. I mean, I'm not talking about these people who are like fucking sick pedophiles or killers or shit like that. You know, we're talking about those people. They don't deserve any kind of remorse. I'm still not saying that we should like I guess I don't know, but you know what I mean. Like they shouldn't get anything, but there's just petty people who are like going to jail for like drug bust or stealing or something like that, and they're being treated like fucking bullshit, and then come out of the system, and then they still treat like bullshit because they were sent into the system.
My mom always said, um, growing up, to like never try to get any kind of tickets or anything like that, because once you're on their radar, you never come off of it. And so that was something that we always grew up with. And the weirdest thing growing up, um, was cops already knew who I was before I had ever done anything wrong. There was a cop that patrolled our neighborhood that knew me by name
What?
and pulled over one of my friends walking from my house because he thought they were me. But that's how I got started. Before I ever drove a car, before I ever broke a law, anything like that, cops already know who I was. Then they were always trying to I remember one time we had stayed up all night and we wanted to go get breakfast because it was morning. And that same cop starts messing with us. He said that we were loitering. It's like we walked across the street to my van and we're getting in the van. I was like, how is that loitering? So then he starts patting down my pockets and I had cash in there. And he goes, what is that, drugs? It's like, no, it's a $5 bill. Then I had my bike in the back of my van, and I had this alien that my mom had gotten me. Anybody that knows me knows I like aliens.
Right, right.
And I had put a Subway name badge on it because I worked for Subway, and I named the alien Bob. So the Subway tag said Bob on it, and he goes, "Who's Bob?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "You have Bob's bike in the back of your van. Who's Bob?" I said, "The bike is mine and Bob is the alien." So, I mean, that's just like one of many examples of this guy like trying to just ruin my life. And, I can say, not with pride. I don't say it out of pride, but I can say out of stupidity, yeah, I've been in jail, for petty stuff. And like I said, once you're in their radar, they don't want you to ever come out. They want you to pay fines and they want you to pay tickets, and you'll have all your tickets paid off. And then lo and behold, they found some more. And oh, these ones have late fees. And they never want it to stop. And
It's
that's
true.
just me. And I can't speak to what it's like to be African American, but it's got to be a nightmare,
Mm-hmm.
an everyday nightmare that I can't fathom. But I can only try to understand because of what I've been through.
Mm-hmm. Dark Sage 9117 here says he has an interesting take on the riots and protests. He says, I think the issue is more systematic in terms of the police unions and the cops as a whole. Are all police bad? Some cops are very corrupt and do try to abuse their power, but the issue is more the police unions and the amount of power they have. For example, the LAPD as a whole, they have a systemic problem. And all LAPD cops bad? No. But is the union corrupt? Yes. And we need to find ways to address the systemic issues across the departments and help weed out the corrupt in the union as a whole. Exactly. I completely agree. Look, we're not saying that all cops are bad. No.
No.
But we're saying that they are there, they exist, and they're protected. And
Mm-hmm.
what we want to see is not this brothership and this union of like watching each other's back. No, I want to see a cop go to another cop and be like, what the fuck are you doing? And beat up that cop for doing what he did or something. Like show some fucking balls and some guts and stand up for what's right. Don't let another cop fucking get away with shit.
Like, if there's a cop that is badgering and harassing anybody, and you're the second on the scene or whatever, just be like, dude, really? Like, you don't have anything better to do than
Yeah,
harass it? Let him go. Like, there needs to be the voice of reason within these unions.
but I can understand that's like putting your career on the line, and that's what's messed up. Their
Yeah,
careers shouldn't be on the line for doing what they should be doing, and that's the right thing.
yes. And that's all that we want any of them to do. We want them to do the right thing and do your fucking job.
Bam. It's like Spike Lee, just do the right thing.
Yes.
Well, that's not bashing all cops. When we say fuck 12 or fuck the police, we're not talking about all of them. We just talking about the ones that are just, I guess,
That,
as a whole, the whole protection of these guys. Like, there's Breonna Taylor's killers are still out there. The killers of that one kid who did nothing but walking home with a ski mask on is still out there. Justice needs to be made. They are not above the law. They should be held accountable for the fuck ups they did.
yeah.
We should be taking down freaking killers and and real shit, and they're just taking down people for nothing. Nothing. Saw a
They
video. I saw a video of them messing with this old black dude because they got a phone call from somewhere, and then after they knocked him down already out of nowhere and had him on the floor, the cop realized, whoa, this is not the guy. The hell. 2020 has been a great year.
this year is a fuck ass.
2020 has been fantastic, yo.
A total fuck ass. But like it's cliche, but it is always darkest before the dawn, and things usually get worse before they get better. So I'm hoping that we're about to start going up and things are getting better.
Yeah,
They
it's
sure as shit can't get any worse.
it's too much for this one year. Like, we could have just, like, this year should have just been the fucking COVID. That's it. That's the only problem we should have had. But it just, like, things just keep toppling up over each other, you know? It's like a main series and there's all these other subplots happening within under the umbrella of this main fucking thing. Here's COVID and here's all these other umbrellas of subplots happening and shit.
It's too much.
It's
It's like One Piece or something.
yes. And you know what? I was thinking about how One Piece could fit in the world today, but I guess they were always like that because I always tell people, like, okay, yeah, One Piece is a story about just this one ragtag crew that wants to find the One Piece to be the king of all pirates and blah blah blah, whatever stuff like that, and it gets goofy and cheesy and whatnot, but deep down the story itself is very very fucking serious. We're talking about there's this organization of revolutionists who are trying to change the world because there's a big world government. That's exactly what they're called. There's a world government that is controlling everything, and though everything seems like organized and very fine, there's this dark, deep, secret world under it and everything. And then the Marines are the cops that are supposed to do all the good things, but there's some corrupted fucking Marines in there. But there's some good ones who are starting to notice this kind of stuff. And then these people who are the pirates, who are supposed to be evil, are usually just good people who are just free and want to live in a free world. Yeah, you got some like fucked up pirate motherfuckers, but that's when the good ones, like the Straw Hat crew and them, would take them down. And then on top of that, you have this fucking family or organization or something that are just untouchable, that apparently rule the world organization, and they are involved in slavery. trafficking and all the other dirty shit that like the straw has barely found out about or something like that. Like, you see how I'm saying? Like, this kind of represents what the world is, and this is an anime that's been around since like fucking the late 90s. It's deeper than what it seems, but it really reflects how the world is, kind of, in a way. Yeah, yeah.
True.
Oh shit.
And on that note, let's call it a night.
Yes, we like to bid you adieu. I like to thank Dro for being here from the beginning. Dark Sage, thank you for what you had to say. That was like right on the money of what we believe too. You know, I know we're saying like fuck the police, but that's exactly what we meant when we're talking about that. And it's not just all of them. It's just the union of it and the corruption in it and blah blah blah. Just has to change it and make it better. Itchin, is good to see you, dog. Even if it's at the end, I'm glad you're here. We're happy to be back, and hopefully, like, so far, like I said, like maybe Sundays. So far, Sundays has been the day that I get out early. So if anything, we could come back next Sunday. If not, either Friday or Saturday. So I'll keep you in the loop of when I'm free to freaking do this stuff. But Sunday for sure.
Good.
Sounds good. Sounds
Yes.
great. All right. Well, she's gonna go release herself of that Taco Bell because it's gotta come out sometime. And I'm gonna try to fill my body in with something so I can release it later,
Play games.
like right away. Thank you guys for being here. Happy to be back, and stay safe out there. Wear your masks. Keep doing social distancing. Treat each other with love and respect, and stand up for anybody if you see any injustice. That's all we ask
Wash your fucking hands.
for. Wash your fucking hands, you dirty motherfuckers. All right. Peace.